Cancer, this is your astrology for April 2016. At the beginning of April, on the 1st, you're going to be actively working towards making your relationships better. You're going to be very aware of your part that you play in relationships, and you're going to be taking responsibility to improve them. So what that says to me is that you have contact with people in your life. Things are pretty good, you're constructive, and you're making them even better. On the 2nd of April, Venus starts to conjunct your midheaven, and both of those sit on top of your chart near the noon position. All right. So the midheaven is what you ought to be doing for work, or what you're focused on at work, and Venus is what you love. So this is a wonderful time for you to learn, to study, to educate yourself about how you can have a more positive impact on the lives of other people, especially through your work. So if you're someone who's not particularly happy with the job that they're doing now, and you want to do something that's much more meaningful and is more helpful and will help make the world a better place, then this is your time to research. If you do research, you will gain an understanding, and to actually start studying in that chosen field so you can start to make inroads into working in that area. That continues and gets stronger. And on the 4th of April, the moon joins all of that energy you've got in your 9th house. You've got Venus, the midheaven, Chiron, south node of the moon, Neptune, and your moon in the 9th house in Pisces. Okay? So this is all about expanding your mind, discovering, learning, so that you can be in a position of helping. What you'll find is you'll discover things that, and if you look at this and if you really get down to the nuts and bolts of this, you'll discover, if you do, for instance, something like a past life regression, that you have had lifetimes where you have been of service to other people. You'll come across the things that have been disappointing to you in this lifetime, where you've tried to be of service and you've had your wrist slapped or your hand slapped, people weren't grateful, and you'll become aware of the dream of what you want to do. So do you want to help people through body work and massage, or do you want to help them by working in financial services and helping them buy their own home? Do you want to help people by being a minister and marrying them? What is it that you want to do genuinely? And get real with yourself. What is it that I want to do? The beginning of April is a really fabulous time to discover your soul vocation. Not the vocation that's going to give you a lot of money and a Ferrari and a good-looking girlfriend, but the vocation that's really going to allow you to contribute something to the world. On the 6th of April, Venus goes into Aries in your 10th house. So what it is I love, I've discovered that now, I want to take action on it. Mercury is in Taurus. Mercury is the planet of ideas and communication. And in Taurus in the 11th, it means that you're going to feel very certain that, yes, I know what I want to do, I'm going to take practical action to do it, and I'm going to get started now. On the 7th, the new moon occurs, and it pulls Aries energy into your 10th house. Your work is going to be reinvigorated. So what I would say for you, Cancer, is that April, so far, the first week of April, your spirituality is wonderful, and this sense of education gets a 10 out of 10 because you can really discover what it is you look for. And also what's really positive is career and work and the actual effort that you put into it. You're massively energized, you're massively into what it is you're doing, and you can make a huge contribution. Okay, so it's informed work, it's informed effort, it's meaningful effort. That's really your biggest strength here at the beginning of April, and you can make great change occur. On the 9th of April, there's a grand trine in, just zoom out here, in Earth, connects your moon, your Pluto, and your Jupiter. So you have the ability, your head is really in the right place, okay? So you're pretty much the opposite of Gemini, who I was speaking to earlier. They are not doing so well this month. They're all over the place at the beginning of April. You're not. You really are very clear on what you're thinking about, what you're trying to achieve. You're making good decisions. You're pursuing your goals. And if you have the strength and energy and you make this effort to pursue your goals, you can actually achieve them. And you can change your life around for the better if you want it to change. Really, the sky's the limit here as far as you're concerned. And if you're in a situation, If you're in a house that you despise, there's mold on it and your flatmates irritate you, and you're in a job that you feel is doing more harm than good, you're selling poisonous chemicals to people, telling them it will make them more beautiful, but in fact it's just harmful. Really, by getting honest with yourself, researching, learning, and taking action, you can make changes to that, and very easily and smoothly. On the 12th, like I said, the moon begins to square your midheaven and Venus, which are now both in your 10th house. And the moon is in your sign on this day, on the 12th. Okay? It's right on top of your ascendant, and it's at 1 degree in your first house in Cancer. So 1 degree, creation, leadership, taking action. Cancer, that's you. You feel totally aligned with yourself. You feel ready to go for it. Then it squares, so it creates friction between Venus and the midheaven. It creates friction between what is it that I love, what is it that I want to do, and it galvanizes you, it pushes you forward. And even if you want to just lie in bed the whole day, you're going to feel driven and forced almost to make things happen when it comes to your work and to change things for the better. So if you're a lawyer and you feel this drive, it's like, oh my God, I am doing family law and I want to be doing criminal law. I have to make this change. It's, you know, when you're driven to make these changes. So you don't have to decide anything. The universe is pushing you in a certain direction. And what I'm seeing is that you can trust that push. You can go with it. It's aligning you more with your life purpose. And that's the best way, I feel, to live your life, is you align yourself with the powers that be, and you just take the action and cooperate, and your life works. On the 13th, there's another grand trine in Earth, and it now connects your Mercury, your Pluto, and your Jupiter in your 3rd. So this is a wonderful day, again, of signing contracts, making practical changes to your life, signing a lease for a new house, a new office, accepting a new job, asking for a promotion, alterations to what already is in a practical sense. 13th is a wonderful day to do that, okay? Or to present why you would like things to change, to make your case really good. On the 14th, the moon sesqui squares Saturn, and the moon is in your 1st, still in Cancer, and it connects with Saturn, which is in your 6th. So your path, Mars is sitting next to that Saturn, okay? Mars is drive and energy, so you feel totally aligned with who you are, and it's giving you total strength in terms of moving things forward. You're on the right track, and I mean, what can come up here? So if your girlfriend says to you, listen, what you're doing now with your career, I really think that's wrong. I really think that you shouldn't be this lawyer type. I really think you should be a vet working with animals. Then there's not going to be a question in your mind that that's her stuff and that there's absolutely that makes no sense. You're going to feel totally clear on what you want. So other people's opinions, other people's pressures on you are going to just slide off because you're not doubting anything. You know, if I'm with a partner and I'm totally clear that I'm going to leave that partner, if the partner says, oh, you know, we should get married, then I don't even have to question that. It's just a no. If I am uncertain and sure, so maybe we should get married. It's not great, but you know, there is security, and you're not in that space. You know exactly what's going on, so you can trust your decisions. On the 15th, that earthy grand trine is still there, but now a fire grand trine occurs, and that really allows you to hit the nail on the head in terms of this is what I want to change. And the changes you make on this day will be long-term, long-lasting. In your career specifically, if you have the opportunity to make changes to your career, I urge you, please take the opportunity, make the change. It will give you more money long-term. It will take you much further, and it will work. So if you're working in a supermarket, and it can be at any level, you know, this can be like the president, or it can be someone who works as a bin man, and your employers say, listen, you've done a good job, we would like you to put you in this area instead. You're not sure how that's going to work, you know there's a bit more money, and that you're gonna benefit from it, but you're not quite sure. Take it. Take it, take it, take it. It will lead to bigger, better things, and this is a door of opportunity that you should walk through. 16th of April, Chiron opposes the north node of the moon. Okay, and this is your first real challenge now that comes up in April, because you're gonna feel a little you're gonna put your own intelligence and your own education. You're gonna start to doubt that today. I'm doing all of this stuff. Am I qualified? Do I know enough? You know, when I was 5, I bit off more than I could chew, and I fell on my face and I suffered. Is this another case of that happening? Ignore that. It's your ego trying to sabotage you. You do have what it takes to do it, and it's important to take a risk. The moon is in Virgo on the 17th, and you overcome the doubt of the previous day. You feel very much, again, aligned with yourself. You realize that you are making good decisions. You do have what it takes. And this is also a wonderful time for you, not just in this working arena, but also with your siblings. It's a great time. It's also to discover something new that you enjoy doing, like playing a game or a new hobby, a new physical activity. It's a wonderful time to discover fixtures, new fixtures in your life. I mean, I remember there's this friends of my family. My parents had these friends, and we walked to. They invited us to their house, and the guy was like in his late 60s or something, and he says, "Oh, come on, I want to show you something." And he took us to the basement, and he had the whole basement, the whole room was dedicated to this model train thing that he did, and he like planted every tree with glue and stuff, and I mean, I thought it was like the worst thing I'd ever seen. I would hate to do something like that, and I thought it was a bit stupid to waste. I mean, okay, I judged it heavily, but this is something that he loved and enjoyed, and he was proud of, and he was certain that he enjoyed it. He didn't care whether I liked it or not. He was doing it, and he'd done it for years by the looks of things, and that brought him joy and pleasure, obviously, because he was happy to share it with other people. So if you do want to discover a hobby that you genuinely like and you care about, regardless of what anyone else thinks, this is the day to do it. On the 20th, the moon is in Libra, and it opposes Venus in Aries. Okay, so again, there's going to be a friction. Today is, do I keep being on this role that I'm on, work-wise and career-wise, and getting things happening? Or do I slow down a little bit, compromise, spend more time with friends and family? You can choose, really. You're going to have a fabulous day either way. Okay? If you continue working, that's great. If you decide to spend time with friends and family, fine. It's the 20th of April. It's a Wednesday, so it's pretty likely that you're going to be at work. Okay? So in the evening, maybe do something. What I'm saying is that both areas of your life are going to demand your attention, and there's no right way or no right thing to choose. You can do both. On the 22nd, the full moon occurs in Scorpio in your 5th house. This is very interesting because if you're in a relationship, this is a wonderful, intense, sexual time for you where you will really want to connect with the other person. You know, and not just the root chakra, but all of the chakras. You will want to kind of like really understand the other person. Scorpio is intensity, and it's really diving down beneath the surface and discovering the real truth of the matter. And that in your 5th house will really, you will want to be close, and you'll want to share yourself on a spiritual, emotional, sexual level with another person. If you don't have anyone in your life to do that with, you may feel a little bit frustrated or lonely on this day, because it's going to be such a strong desire for you to express that. So obviously judge for yourself in terms of what your circumstances are like. But it's also, if you're single, it's not a great time to date, and neither is the 23rd or the 24th, because you're going to come across really intense. You know, you're going to meet someone and just be like, well, I think you're wonderful and I want to have 3 of your children. You know, it's too much too soon. I mean, personally, I think it's dating is hard enough as it is, but there's so many little things you can do wrong. And what most women, I think, and what most men don't appreciate is if you meet them for the first time and then you immediately start making plans for the future without their consent. And when you feel that intense, then you tend to do that. You know, you go for dinner with someone, it's like, oh my God, this person is like the dream. You don't even know them, and you start making all these plans. It's too much of a good thing. So also on the 23rd and 24th, the moon opposes Mercury in Taurus. Okay, so your dreams and your ideas are running away with you before the reality has had a chance to catch up with things. So you're operating a little bit on fantasy land and what you want rather than what the other person wants. So just be aware of that. On the 26th of April, the moon and Saturn and Mars all sit in your 6th house of day-to-day routine, all in Sagittarius. Again, it's an excellent time for you to make progress in your career, in your work, to really move forward with that and to make wonderful, great inroads into that area of your life. 10 out of 10 for career and work and planning for the future. On the 28th of April, Mercury goes into retrograde. Not too much of a big deal for you, Cancer. You're ruled by the moon. Your moon is again now in the 7th in Capricorn. Steady does it. You're working. You're focused on work. This Mercury retrograde isn't going to affect you too badly. Mercury retrograde in general just means you have to find alternate ways of operating, and you as a sign aren't going to be one of the ones that are particularly harshly affected by this Mercury retrograde. It lasts until the 22nd of May. If you're interested in that, just look at Mercury retrograde. It's going to happen 4 times this year. It's already happened in January. This is the second, and then it's going to happen 2 more times. So it's a phenomenon that happens every year. So if you're interested, look at more info on that. On the 29th of April, we have got the moon squaring Venus. The moon's in your 8th in Aquarius. Venus is in Aries in your 10th. This is a day where you have an inspiration, an insight, an idea that you can use to further your career even more. But this is an idea that is genuinely helpful to other people. If you're an inventor, this is the day when you have the big masterpiece idea. If you're a designer, it's very likely that you have the inspiration that you need. You know, like Diane von Furstenberg's wraparound dress. I mean, that must have been the best day of her life when she had the idea to do that, because she sold a gazillion of those dresses. So yeah, if you're working in any kind of creative industry or where you have to come up with ideas, advertising, 29th is fabulous for you. On the 30th, Venus goes into Taurus in your 11th. And this is beautiful because now you end the month with Venus going into Taurus. Venus is the planet of love and beauty. Okay? In Taurus, it's physical beauty, physical comfort, physical ease. You know, Aphrodite lounging around on a chaise longue and just brushing her hair and feeling like everything's right with the world and she's solid and structured and safe and everything is found. That is in your 11th house of relationships, so those are going to be good. But also hopes and dreams. So you're going to really feel very solid and like you have a tangible idea of what you're doing with your life, how to realize your hopes and dreams in a genuine, practical sense, and that you can apply yourself and you can take action to make that a reality. So you're going to feel very empowered. Okay? At the same time here, you've had a lot of good things going on in terms of career and being practical and sort of thing. Black Moon Lilith is in Libra in your 4th. Okay, so that's the part of the chart that often you kind of repress and that makes you feel resentful or angry. So just make sure you don't, if someone upsets you or if you feel like an injustice has been done to you, don't internalize that too much and don't just sit back and take it. Speak your mind and be very forthright in April, because there's potential for you to carry that through, especially in relationship to other people, to carry that through in the to the future and to kind of sit on it and seethe about it. So do a decluttering as you go, and if negative things do crop up during the month, let them go there and then. You know, none of us like conflict, but if it's a situation where, like for instance, if you always feel like people are walking all over you and they don't listen to you, and something like that happens in the real world, then that's your opportunity to really stand up for yourself and to say, okay, I don't like conflict, but I'm really not going to tolerate that this time. Then do that, speak up and say, I actually object to what you're saying, I don't appreciate this. And that's going to help you just be done with it rather than carrying it forward and going, oh, that person did that to me and I really resent that, blah, blah, blah. So that's your April. I hope you found that useful. If you'd like a private reading with me about finance or friends or education, spirituality, career, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you next month.